That feeling when you file, fed, and state 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. Click for eligibility.
It's too much pressure. Can't deal with it.
Oh, you must be talking about getting healer on rivals.
Yeah, but that's kind of the life I accepted at this point, rivals.
I mean, let me be clear.
I flex.
Playing with y'all was the first time that I ever played tank. It was the only time I've ever played tank. I was shitting bricks, boy. I mean, I'm hard in my mouth, but like, I was just like, am I doing this right?
Oh,
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And you're like, just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. I was like, all I'm doing is walking and shooting and just using stuff. Like, is this how tanking is supposed to be? Like, boom, 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 boom. It was just like, all right, hey, we won. I don't care. At that point, I don't care.
Oh, he was tagging the first time. Let me get the camera.
Somebody took my healer though, and you know how it is when you have a main that you want to use only.
You talking about when I was here with you?
No, it wasn't you. It was like we had a random who was playing with us, and they picked the Invisible Woman, or like two people picked healer, and one was cloak and dagger, and the other one was Invisible Woman. I was like, well, both my healers are gone. I can't play.
That is kind of the combo.
I gotta leave. I just can't play. And then we had no tanks, and everybody else was DPS, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
Although they finally giving some nerfs to my cloak and dagger, and I'm not happy about it.
I'm on the fence about that nerf.
I was about to say it's a nerf and a buff at the same time.
Nah.
You travel faster in your ultimate.
The heals don't stack anymore. The heals don't stack no more. The dashes don't stack anymore, and also the dashes last like 20% less time.
I would rather
they happen in less time as well, which makes it harder for Magneto or somebody to pull you out of your ult. Because the time between each dash used to be 0.8 seconds.
Yeah,
now it's 0.6 seconds. So after one dash, you're going to be stagnant for a little bit over a half a second before you make your next dash.
It's like a double-edged sword.
I mean, having them stack is kind of like OP anyway.
I mean, that's how you got to counter some ults, though. Like, that's how you counter Storm ult. That's how you counter Thor ult. It's like, okay. That was like one of the main reasons to use this ult. Like, it's still going to be one of the best pushing ults or defensive ults in the game, but it's just like, I feel like a little over nerfed, but I gotta wait for the patch to drop in.
Yeah, but
they also up their damage.
But if you look at it from the perspective of like the other end of that, right? Like if we're fighting against a cloak and dagger and we're like about to kill that team and then she pops that shit out, and now it's like, okay, we either sit here and possibly die, or we just jump out and lose point. Mainly, I think the mistake they made was giving her that extra dash. I think they didn't need to do that. It was just kind of like an unnecessary buff out of nowhere. Like the stacking, the stack thing.
Stacking is OP.
No. I'm gonna balance that out. You can keep the stack, but make the ult last less. Like shorten the duration of the ult.
Yeah, I would have taken ult duration down to 7.5 seconds, but still stack.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, because 12 seconds with all that shit on top is like, bruh, this is taking forever. Like it's taking forever to kill her. And then
on top of that, you're gonna get debuffed right afterwards. Because if I'm ulting, I'm coming out, I'm switching over to cloak, and then I'm throwing a debuff window, and I'm just going you to death. You're just gonna get triple.
Listen, that shit sucks being a tank on that point. It's just like, bro, in the middle of it.
We got that new tank though.
But that's all that I can
do. Yeah.
In order to be useful to my team, besides heal.
I can't wait till Friday. I can't wait.
Like, I want to be useful to my team.
I hope Johnny Storm is like the ultimate, hey, don't be stacking up on top of each other type DPS. With that
you mean like Bucky?
Bucky needs ult.
More like Moon Knight. Moon
Bucky
Knight
needs
is
the ult though. Yeah, Moon Knight can actually just be shredding through groups
Yeah.
if they're not paying attention and killing the Ankh.
I mean, he's good for going against triple healers because they tend to stay around each other. All you gotta do is just start throw a bunch of shit towards the Ankh, and they usually die.
Like the comic panel, random bullshit. Go.
Yeah, that's Moon Knight. That's legit.
All right. So before we dive any further into our Marvel Rivals discussion, I just want to take this time to say good evening, everyone. Welcome to Start Button Live. As you know, this is the safe haven for geeks, nerds, perverts, dweebs, gamers, everything that you want to call yourself under the sun. So, I'm your host, King Anarchy. Here with us, we have Ryjan and we have Hustle Simmons. As you can see, our alts are right below us. So, not our alts, but our
the handles
for almost anything. That's how you find me on Instagram. That's how you find me on YouTube. That's how you find. I don't know how you find Ryjan. Is that how they find you on Instagram?
Yeah, just that.
Yeah. And I know Hustle Simmons is either Hustle Simmons or Hustle Simmons TV.
Yeah.
So, by all means, we are going to talk about some interesting things today. I got a lot of questions, and I'm going to be looking for a lot of answers. I'm going to be looking for them from these gentlemen, but I'm also going to be looking for them from you guys as well. So, if you have anything that you want to contribute to this conversation, as you know, hop in the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact, leave us a comment. And what we're going to do is we're definitely going to get back to you, and we're going to let you know exactly how we receive your information or how we receive your feedback, or we'll at least say thank you, like it, heart it, something, whatever the case may be. I hope today is going to be fun. Hopefully, it's going to be a whole bunch of knowledge that you won't feel overwhelmed with. Anyway, we're going to start off like our normal with a question of the day. And so our question for today is this. And this is to you, gentlemen. What do you guys think is the most efficient form of monetization that a game can employ without feeling like it's trying to rip off their customer?
Skins, honestly, cosmetic items like skins.
Oh, so adding cosmetics,
Yeah,
making players pay for cosmetics secondary.
Yeah, just put cosmetics in. I think that's I don't want to see ethical.
It's. I mean, that's the closest thing you can get, as long as you're not like. See, that gets you a weird argument. Like, I agree, cosmetics are the most balanced way to have microtransactions without impacting stuff, but some games do mess up where some skins were like, I remember back in the day, early days of League, when they added some new skins, they were bugged out, like Blitzcrank's Blitzcrank skin. You couldn't see his grab coming out. So it's like, okay, you think it's a cool cosmetic skin, but then they mess up sometimes with these skins and they do give you an advantage, but that doesn't happen all the time.
That happened in COD too.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's really only just cosmetics. Like, yeah, like it's just really skins you can do, like, that are ethical and don't rip people off, quote unquote. Because, like, yeah, well, and also like, I guess DLC packs when they're worth it. I guess is a good example, a good mind.
So, what do you consider a DLC pack?
Like, not
is
like
it still just going to be skins?
No, I mean like adding new content to the game, where like as long as it's not something that was proven to be cut and then they add it in later to charge you nickel and dime you later, or something like that. That
so not Mortal Kombat.
Yes, not Mortal Kombat. Or
but something like Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Hunter is typically giving you like cosmetic skins or fun packs, or even like good collab for free with stuff like that with other games or everything like that.
But my experience is that Monster Hunter gives you collaboration missions, extra monsters. They give you like some of those come with like layered armors or different cosmetic things that that your character can wear. They give those to you for free, but they give you like extra like facial modifications and like hairstyles and things of that nature inside of a paid DLC. So do we think that that system is peak? Is that the primary system that we would use in order to monetize a game and not feel crappy about it? Because obviously, if you put anything that affects game performance as far as how a player can do things, it's pay to win automatically.
I say just cosmetics. As long as it's cosmetics, that should be enough. If you make really cool skins, I think that's enough to finance your game post launch. And I know some people don't like microtransactions. Listen, I understand that completely, but at the same time too, you can't be asking for like a live service type game with ongoing support
with new
and not
characters,
expect
new
there's
with
some
new
kind of
characters, new weapons, new maps, and all that shit, and not expect them to get like anything back for it.
like this shit costs money. I hate to tell y'all that. I'm sorry I gotta burst the bubble for everybody, but yes, these things cost money. Cosmetics cost money. Like keeping a game running costs money because people are working on those games. They're at work. They have to be paid somehow, right? Gotta keep the lights on somehow. So
I mean, if you want to continue to have additional support, then sure.
yeah. If you don't want additional support, you just want the game launched out. That's it, nothing more. Okay, fine. But a lot of people don't want the game to just come out and just be done. You know, especially if it's a game they really like.
Into like the Sega Genesis, Nintendo, Super Nintendo age, where the finished product is the finished product. There's no after support. There's no further anything. There's like once you're done, you're done. Like
that also, in that aspect though, right? If we're talking about like back in the day, Genesis, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, whatever, right? Game comes out, it is what it is. Good or bad. There's a lot of games that came out and during that time that were bad. No updates, no fixes, no nothing. You got a bad game back then. That was it.
And you just had to live with it.
You had to live. Yeah. And
Or I the worst. Like what was worse? Like, quick question. Sorry. What was worse? Going to Blockbuster, getting the game, and then finding out that was ass, or you just getting gifted a gift in the game, didn't know it was ass, and you just got an ass game. But like, remember the Go to Blockbuster days? That was a special day. Went to catch a game, and it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna play this all weekend, and then that's trash. You gotta take it back and just sit there and wasted your whole weekend.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I live down the street from what used to be known as $1 Million Video.
Yep.
And so if I wanted to go down there and rent a game, I would literally just walk down the street, rent the game. You know what I'm saying? If it was not good, then I go down the street and go get another game. It was like what, $4, $5 to rent?
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's like $4 or $5. Bad game goes back. If you get gifted a bad game, then it's like, what you gonna do? Like you don't want to be disrespectful. Like, oh, I got a gift and it's a game because they know I like games, but it's like
pawning off for somebody else.
Not good. This game is not good. Granted, you could.
You know what? I just thought about it.
What?
I think $1 Million Video had I don't know if it was a downstairs or
downstairs.
It was a back room.
It was a back room. Okay.
No, because that's the same video store we used to go to as kids too.
Oh
there was 100% a back room at $1 Million Video because I remember.
Was it a down? That's what I was trying to figure out.
When you first walk in, there's a staircase that goes all the way down there, and down there is where the adult stuff was.
So
I remember that.
What I was saying was, there's a beauty supply store there, and I don't know that they have a downstairs.
I don't know either.
That's why I could have sworn it was a back. I could have sworn it was a back room.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
I thought it was like when you go to the main entrance. I could have sworn it was like back to the left. That's what I remember.
Nah, I distinctly remember you first walk in, there's like
I've never
a
been in the
square
adult
off
section, so I really
stairway
don't know. I
downstairs.
don't remember. We just lost Raijin for a second.
Oh shit, yeah,
But-
we did.
Huh?
Oh shit, yeah, we did.
Yeah. So either way, anyway, that was kind of a side conversation. Now,
Tales of the porno room.
can you name a game that has gotten it right, Hustle? Like in your opinion,
Hey, nice.
if you think about all of the different games that we've had over the course of these years in which we are in the DLC era, can you think of a game or can you name a game that actually got it right with monetization?
Monetization.
Like, does it have to be a paid game or does it have to be a free game? Like, what's the right thing?
Right thing. I can only think from like. I can only think of like a free to play perspective, right? Something like Rivals does a really good job of that. Of like, number one, your battle pass. Oh, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Your mic.
I don't know what happened there. Like
Here we go.
my video was just like, you don't got no connection. I'm like, I do though.
All right, hear me out. So you got your skins, but you have access to all the characters, and every single character that comes out is free, no matter. Doesn't matter, right? But then on top of that, you've got the battle pass. Battle pass, once you get that, it never goes away. It doesn't run out. There's no time limit on that. Like you continuously unlocking stuff after the season is over. So I think they do a good job in terms of their monetization methods for that particular game. As for like,
So how do they make more money to get people to sign up for the next battle pass?
how they get more money for people to sign up,
How do you get people to sign up to the next battle pass?
skins.
And then no, what I'm saying is if you're still working on the old battle pass, how do you get people on the new one?
The new shit that's in it.
Stuff in the old battle pass, but you gotta buy the new battle pass to get the new stuff.
But
Yeah.
it could be the same achievements and goals.
Yeah.
Now, see, my thing is that in the time period that I've played Marvel Rivals, I don't think I've ever gotten one level in the battle pass. How hard is it or easy is it to get battle pass rewards? Because remember that the difficulty of the battle pass is also important towards getting the free players to convert.
I think that my only problem with I think my only problem with the Rivals Battle Pass is like if I'm not paying attention to the missions, I'm gonna forget about them. If I'm not specifically going and looking at the Battle Pass missions, I'm not gonna think about doing them in the match.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just like I should still be rewarded better just for playing in general. Like especially if I bought the Battle Pass.
I mean, Tone, have you not used your chromium tokens?
No.
That's how you unlock the stuff in the battle pass. It's all right. Listen, I had to teach V that because she had like 4,000 of them stacked up, and I was just like, why do you have so many? Because she didn't know that you had to actually like go to the battle pass and particularly purchase those things in order.
Okay. So, do you think that there should be a universal model?
I think it should be a universal.
Like a universal model, like for instance, should paid games use a specific system for monetization, or should free games use a specific system just to make sure that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it depends on if that we're talking about a paid game that is going to be ongoing, right? What we're talking about?
Yeah, both paid game or free game, doesn't matter.
Let's say paid example Call of Duty, free example Marvel Rivals.
Okay. Skins. That's fine as long as those skins don't have a statistic. They don't have some kind of advantage because Call of Duty made the egregious decision of making skins that came with perks on them specifically for the DMZ mode, and it gave you an advantage because you had this perk literally attached to you when you use that skin in DMZ mode. That's where it made it pay to win. That's not acceptable. Like, it should always be cosmetic. It should never be anything that gives someone an advantage over someone else in a competitive situation.
But isn't DMZ free to play?
No. You can only access DMZ if you bought Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
I thought DMZ was just in Warzone. But I don't know
No.
Call of Duty like that.
They treated Warzone and DMZ as two completely separate things. You couldn't access DMZ unless you bought Modern Warfare 2.
Hmm.
I don't think it.
Either way.
Yeah, I don't think that perk affected Warzone. I could be wrong. I don't think it affected Warzone. I think it only affected DMZ.
That's an interesting thing. So,
and then if you want to look at it, another bad case of microtransactions would be Grand Theft Auto Online.
What is it?
Grand Theft Auto Online.
Oh, okay.
Because technically, if you want to be if you want to put it in this term, right? Call of Duty. Grand Theft Auto now, when there are new cars and stuff released in the game, they usually cost a considerable amount of money. Like,
okay.
There's YouTube videos that talk about the inflation of Grand Theft Auto Online, like how certain cars now are like, they launch out and they're like 4 million RP points or GTA money, right? Which you have to equate that to like real world dollars. Like, some of these cars technically cost like close to over $100 in real world money terms, because we're talking about the shark cards here. They made it so the vehicles are so expensive that you either have to continuously be playing nonstop with no sort of responsibilities, no life, no nothing, or you're paying for the shark cards to get these things. And some of these things are basically pay to win. Like, you remember when they released that flying motorcycle that had the homing rockets on it? The Oppressor Mark II?
That one.
Yeah, I know. I have one too. The Oppressor, the Oppressor Mark II. The Oppressor Mark II was literally a pay to fucking win vehicle in that game. If you couldn't afford it, or if you couldn't afford it and someone else just instantly bought it out, they could make your entire lobby process a living hell if you were just trying to play normally. Like, you could be trying to deliver your package of drugs or whatever in the game.
Why are you delivering drugs in my turf?
You know what I'm saying? Because they show you on map, someone with an Oppressor Mark II can literally just fly directly towards you, and it's like a mini
in my
jet.
Map, though?
Because I have to make money.
Not in my map. If you're not in my crew, you don't have to make money.
Nah, see, I don't. Nah. But it's like that vehicle is basically like a mini jet. Operates the same way as a mini jet. Fast as hell. Can just instantly obliterate you, and then that's it. That's a case of just horrible ways to do microtransactions.
Now, I will say this: as much as GTA Online had a good loop of things, they had a good run at things. The one thing that I do really think kind of sucked about GTA Online was the in-game economy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
They made it to a point where you literally felt like, even if it wasn't just for like a car, or it wasn't just for something that had just come out, they made it feel like you couldn't earn the money to accomplish anything without buying shark cards. So you're introducing all of this stuff, and then you have events that pop up every so often. But let me be real, we are players playing GTA with other people. Why do we want to do your events?
Right?
Why do I want to race other people? What makes me want to do anything besides the bullshit? Let me be clear. Grand Theft Auto, if you watching, in your online mode, we appreciate it. I mean, I didn't appreciate the 5-minute load time to get into the game.
That was wild.
But the fact that I didn't have to keep on loading, I appreciate it. But to force me to have to do events and contests and races to get money when I'm trying to go out there and jack my money feels wrong, bro. I want people to get down or lay down, bro. Like, I want to go out there and do the bullshit.
Yeah, let me be a virtual YN.
I wanna stick up stores. The next time y'all do this, get it right, please. Don't make us do races and stuff. Sure, heist was a great thing. The heist payouts were too low. The heist
they nerfed. I didn't say
the heist payouts were too low, difficulty too high. You got to be able to, like, if you're gonna introduce criminal empires, yachts, have people working for you, motorcycle clubs, buying buildings, and then have us do heists. You can't have us doing a heist for $500,000, because what man in his right mind is robbing a bank for 500 grand? You robbing a bank for 500 grand, bro? I'm not robbing a bank for 500 grand because the sentence is too heavy.
Nothing less than a 7-figure deal.
Unless you a crackhead.
That's true.
And then we splitting it, bruh.
Yeah, you splitting 500,000 between 4 people.
4 or 5
ain't
ways,
getting
bro.
shit.
Like, what? And
not
then
only
we gotta
that,
pay for the materials to make sure that nah, bro.
Hold on. The most egregious part about that whole entire thing, though, is that money will not buy you shit. The amount that you get from splitting $500,000 between 4 people,
it's 100 grand.
In Grand Theft Auto economy today, you can't buy anything new. You can't. You can't buy the new facilities that they keep releasing. You can't buy the new cars they're releasing. You can't do nothing with that money. So they're requiring you to continuously do that heist over and over and over.
And sure, it's great for a gameplay loop, but here's the problem. You can't do that heist solo.
Nope.
And the heists were fun. People wanted to play the heists. But finding 4 people who are good enough to have a heist completed, not being able to do it solo, and you, come on now, you Grand Theft Auto, y'all knew, Rockstar, you knew what you made. You knew what you made. You knew that people was going to get into that online lobby and they was going to go out there and they was going to do the bullshit. Okay?
Them early days hit like crack.
They wasn't about to... Yeah, like they wasn't about to go and be like, oh, kumbaya, let's do this co-op mission. And if you invited me and you was a stranger, if you invited me to your heist, I'm getting on your heist and I'm doing the bullshit.
Okay? Them early GTA days before all the flying cars and shit, man, it used to be, gang warfare in the streets, bro.
Like, bro.
Everybody was on site outside the crew.
That's what I'm saying. And you know what I did with the crew? When I brought the crew in, when the crew got together, you know what I'm saying? Since I had wealth and abundance, I made sure that the crew was eating too. Oh, you in the crew? All right, join the motorcycle club. All right, join my company. This way, just for being close to me doing
getting money,
the bullshit, you was getting paid.
We was on our paid in full shit back in the day,
every 5 minutes, just for being in proximity of me. Come on, bro. Let's get this money, bro. Like once I was a CEO, automatically turn that on. I don't care if I'm a target, automatically turn it on, because everybody that's everybody that's in my employ is gonna get paid just for being my bodyguards. Make sure I don't die and you get money. Easy. Your CEO looks like the Joker, so he's easy to see. Easy.
And then let's not forget the more malicious parts of that entire online experience, like when you were able to get warehouses and stack them up with all the shit that you robbed and stashed away. And you sell that big old stash to get you millions of dollars, but people can kill you and destroy your shipment. Why? You're like, first off, there's no reward to destroying somebody's shipment, by the way. It's like, what? I think 15,000? So you're just encouraging people to be assholes and ruin someone else's money. Why?
Or you're like, if there was a reward for interrupting somebody's mission, right? You take the mission, you know, you go get your shipment, and then like everybody sees you, but there's no reward for stopping you. There's no reward
none
for letting you do it. There's no like it has
outside
no
of being
bearing.
an asshole.
Like what you did was you encouraged people to get on there and be assholes. I mean, I'll happily oblige.
So you're the problem then. I left people alone. I was like, I'm gonna let people get money. Like, why am I gonna stop somebody from getting money?
Also, who am I?
Because that could be your money.
Also, who am I?
Yeah, true.
You know me. I left everybody alone till they didn't leave me alone.
That's a cycle, bro. You perpetuating the cycle, bro.
After a certain point, it's not the cycle anymore.
It is.
I'm not perpetuating the cycle. I am the cycle.
Here's what No.
No. I am the cycle.
I got it though. But here's
and
what
I'm
happens.
gonna make sure that I continue the cycle until you log off.
Here's what happens. You start out trying to make your money.
Remember my jet bike?
I remember that. But I'm saying, you start out trying to do your shit, make your money. Someone starts blowing your shit up, ruining your money, all that shit. You start resenting.
I'm coming back
you
with a
start
tank.
resenting the community.
I'm coming back with a tank.
You start resenting the community, and then
did you remember? Like we had garages, bro.
Oh, I remember. I still got all my shit. All my shit's still there, bro. Even when
rocket launchers, bazookas. Oh, broke boy wants to go out. Broke boy want to come out here and mess with me while I'm trying to get money instead of coming over here to get money. All right, bet. Done.
I remember, bro. Garage still full. Garage. Actually no. I haven't even filled up the garage. Them big ass garages. I still haven't filled it up. I got like, I think 100 cars, close to, or 60. I got a lot of cars. Still haven't filled it all the way up.
I think I filled 3 garages.
Bro, back in them balling days.
We've had a bunch of properties. So like literally, I bought garages just to be garages, and then I bought and then I used the garage in the whoa. All right.
Why not?
Sorry. Let's shift our attention over to the chat real quick because V-Tone says cars. Why do you need 100 cars?
Why not though?
Because if you don't have 100 cars, you don't got any cars.
Right.
That is true.
Right.
It's just
not only that, but how am I supposed to stunt on all these motherfuckers in the lobby and let them know that they broke if I don't pull out different cars all the time? I gotta let them know they broke and I'm not.
It's called RNM.
If you're broke, just say it.
RNM. All right. Just in case you ever wondered, yes, there's a saying. It's called RNM. Okay, RNM stands for rich nigga mentality. All right.
I gotta give them a reason to hate me. You have to understand, babe. You gotta understand.
Telling them to make a profit. No,
to
there's a car for every task that we're doing. If we're chilling with the homies, then we gotta have something fly. If we're doing jobs, then we gotta have something bulletproof. If we are trying to like pull the whole crew with us, then we gotta have something big. If we are trying to roll like an army, then we all gotta be on jet bikes with rocket launchers and stuff. If we all just zooming around on the highway, then some of us might be in something that's armored, like the little armored Mitsubishi Lancer, but some of us also might be in just something regular fast, so we could get our driving going on. A sneaker closet, I mean,
I did have mad sneakers. I did have mad sneakers in it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had money like that in real life, my garage would look like a sneakerhead's closet.
I would have a sneakerhead's closet.
No, I would not. I'd have a big ass walking closet. 5 or 6 pairs of shoes.
Bro, you don't.
But I would have 365 cars.
You mean to tell me
I would have a label on each car for what day of the year I drive it.
Hold on. You gonna tell me if you was rich, you wouldn't want a big ass walking closet with mad fly ass clothes and sneakers and shit?
No.
Bullshit.
I'd have suits.
I'm talking like you got fuck you money. Like you got fuck you money. You can go to like the rich nigga section of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
At
At American Dream Mall,
mm-hmm.
the rich nigga section of the mall, where you look at it and you're just like, I feel like they're gonna run my credit score in my salary and be like, get out of here. That section of the mall.
Okay.
And you can buy anything you want.
Right.
The ones that come up to you like, hi, sir, would you like complimentary champagne and cheese? I don't know if they.
Like I said, cheese.
I don't know if they're giving you champagne.
Bring out a whole charcuterie board.
Yes.
Picking out a soup.
If they're giving me champagne, I expect there to be a charcuterie board alongside with the complimentary champagne when I'm shopping for clothes. I expect this. What is that not a thing? I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never shopped at these. I can't afford to shop at these places. But like,
I thought this was America.
Exactly. I thought this was America. If I go to, the St. Laurent store and you offer me champagne, there better be cheese and fruit that comes alongside with that. Am I crazy for thinking that? Like,
what are we talking about? GTA?
we're talking about just living rich in GTA. That's all I'm saying.
So you're gonna finish asking me your question?
He's like, oh wait, that was a question.
What was the question?
Yeah, you don't even know no more.
Time clip that if you want. All I'm saying is you gotta stun.
So you're not gonna finish the question then?
I don't remember what the question was. I'm being for real.
I don't even know if there ever was a question.
There was a question.
He
asked me if I could afford to, because I had whatever amount of money. Money wasn't an object. Would I go and shop in the stunting nigga section?
Yeah.
No.
Would you? I don't believe.
And if I did, it would just be on a whim. I don't need to walk around in YSL. I don't need to walk around in Gucci, Prada.
You say that only now because, like, you're not rich. You wouldn't.
All right. And if I were rich, I would have a 5-bedroom home. And I'm talking Elon rich. 5-bedroom home with an underground garage.
Hey, why you got a 5-bedroom home?
Because I don't need more than that.
I'm about to say, who living with you?
I don't need more than that.
You getting a 5-bedroom?
I have to have room for hobbies.
He's just glazed over there. He's just like, I don't need all that.
You need the game room. You need the
I need a card room. I need a game room. I need a computer room or a media room. Like, that's already free.
Right. You gotta have the collection room. That's true. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And stuff like Gunpla room by itself, bro.
Oh yeah. You got a point. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, 5 bed. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, 5 bedrooms makes sense.
I don't need a mansion. I don't need to live in a. For what? For who? For why?
Just people gotta hate on you.
No.
Yes.
I don't even want people to know I exist.
If they not hating on you, you doing shit wrong.
Exactly. I don't want people to know I exist. I want to do it all wrong.
He wants to be his own shadow government, and no one know he exists.
And you know what? You know how people are gonna hate on me? When they see me walking on the street, like in those How to Catch a Gold Digger videos, and I'm wearing regular jeans and maybe a basic pair of Jordans. At least that's $200 right there, right?
I mean, technically, all Jordans cost around the same. It's only when the resellers get them that should be.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, regular. I don't need the Travis Scotts. I don't need some special Jordans that's friends and family only that never made it to the streets.
Shit, I wouldn't mind that.
I don't need them.
True, you don't.
If they're not comfortable, I don't even want them.
You don't need them.
If they're not comfortable, I don't want them.
But if you got offered them, you're not saying no.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably wearing sweatpants every day.
Like
ultimate comfort.
Are we talking like high end type shit, like Gucci sweatpants?
No.
You missing
What I need to spend the extra money on that
Like,
for?
wait, does Gucci make sweatpants? Hold on, let me see.
I don't
No
know.
way, do they?
Fair. Like, that's my thing. Like, some people are really into fashion, and like, if they had the money, they would spend it on high fashion. I'm a gamer,
honestly would.
so to the end of it all, it's gonna be games, it's gonna be electronics, it's gonna be nerd shit. I'm going to spend my money on electronics, collectibles, and cars.
Oh, these Coach sweats is swaggy. I ain't gonna hold you. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I was looking for high end sweats and I found
Next
them.
topic.
100 is $179.
But why
That's
get
all-
that when I can go get some champion sweatpants for 30?
I think that's what I want to be when I'm like an old head. It's like wear like high end sweats and shit, like in velour. I want to wear like velour suits when I'm old.
Why?
I feel like that's what old, like swaggy old dudes would wear, right? Like,
Why not just wear what you enjoy? Like, well,
it's gonna be interesting.
I was about to say I'm not wearing one today, but normally I'm wearing anime t-shirts
It is gonna be
and
interesting
some
to
regular
see.
jeans.
It is gonna be interesting to see what like our generation looks like when we're old people. In terms
They're
of
all
what
gonna be
we
walking
wear.
around in True Religions and and new Jordans, still looking like they 24. Even though True Religions ain't even gonna be popular no more.
I thought they're not
Well,
popular.
these was popular
anymore.
20 years ago. This is what we wore: Omave jeans and True Religions and
Marion jeans.
Omave.
I don't know.
You know, however you spell it, however you say it. Either way. So I wanted to actually dive into why I asked questions about monetization for games, right? And the reason that I actually wanted to touch on that topic was because we all know and we've all played Overwatch back in the day. And as we know, Overwatch 2 is currently a thing. So I believe that it is actually confirmed that Overwatch 2 is going to be bringing back loot boxes.
Should have never gone away to begin with.
What'd you say?
So it should have never gone away to begin with.
So, all right, let me get into
I'm on
the
the fence.
nitty-gritty, right? So, obviously, if you've played Overwatch from the beginning, then you know that the loot box was actually something that was like kind of a big thing in Overwatch. And so the loot boxes actually became very controversial because essentially you would play the game some, the loot boxes encouraged extra spending, it turned into a gambling thing. All of the games that had loot boxes ended up getting in trouble, and like there was a whole thing with all of these games going to court. So they said that the loot boxes were like predatory, et cetera, et cetera. With all of the games having loot boxes, you know, and all of the court things starting to happen, they were just like, you know what, we're gonna take them out. So they got rid of loot boxes in order to replace them with things like season passes, because obviously if I pull 5 loot boxes, I don't get what I'm looking for. I want a specific skin. Now and the only way for me to get that skin is through these loot boxes. I'm gonna spend money so I can buy 100 more loot boxes or 10 more or 15 more, whatever. However it goes, it's a slippery slope, but it's something that gets people addicted to buying loot boxes. And once you gratify that chance of the gamble with real money, it makes it a lot easier for you to fall down that slippery slope. So a lot of these companies actually moved away from loot boxes, and that was why they were very controversial. Now, Overwatch 2 has said that the most recent season pass, or actually the season pass model as a whole, has actually not really been successful. So it's actually been a little bit unpopular. And so what they're actually planning on doing is, because the fans said that they missed the old form of monetization, they want to kind of bring players back from Marvel Rivals. So, you know, they're going to make some changes to bring the players back. One of those changes being that they're going back to loot boxes for season 15. and the game director said that they're going to be generous with them for their debut season. Okay, now when we say generous, and I want to make sure that I'm very clear on this, when we say generous, basically their first season back, they're going to be giving away a ton of them. Okay, a ton, but not every season is going to be like that. They have already put it out there. Not every season is going to be like that. So, just be prepared. We got to give you the forewarning. We're going to be very generous. We're going to give you a whole lot, but not every season is going to be like that. And when I say a ton and generous, so what they're saying is that during the first season, if you do the challenges and Twitch drops, events, and even the Discord program that they're gonna have going on, you can earn over 100 loot boxes during season 15. Okay. In addition to the 100 loot boxes that you're gonna be able to earn, they're also going to be doing a duplicate protection. Now, as you know, previously the duplicate protection was if you pull an item that you already pulled, then it was just going to give you gold coins so that you can go and buy whatever it was that you were looking for. This time, the duplicate protection is actually going to be a little bit different in order to ensure that you do not get repeat items. So this time, if you get a duplicate, the box is actually going to re-roll itself until you get something that you don't have already. Now that I've gone through this whole spiel and have allowed my saliva to start working all over, do you guys think this loot box thing is a good idea? Like, some people miss them, some people don't. V said that she prefers the season passes that that allow you to grind for the money. I sometimes think it depends on the game. Season passes can be a tad bit slow. And that's why I said, like, it depends on how they have the ratios adjusted or how they have the rates adjusted. Because if I play a game and I can blow through the season pass within a few days or whatever, and I get through all the levels, and then I don't have anything to work for, then there's a problem because I don't want to play anymore until the next season pass comes around. But if I play a game and the season pass barely ever moves, then I don't want to play the game anymore. I'm not gonna play the game, like, because I'm not earning any rewards. I had somebody whom I actually introduced to Marvel Rivals probably last week, and they played and they were like, so is the only way that we can get skins like by paying for them? And he was like, I really like the game, I just don't like that model. It makes me feel like I have to spend money. Like, is that the only way that we're going to be able to get skins and such? So I could understand the reticence.
Here's the thing. It's gonna be like, I give it like a few months and people are gonna be complaining about the loot boxes again, just like they did the first time. They went away because the community hated the fucking loot boxes, but now
they went away so Blizzard couldn't get any kind of litigation about potential gambling issues and whatnot. That was the main reason why it went away. Not because the community did. They just didn't want to get their asses sued.
Yeah,
but at the same time, that I kind of feel like loot boxes, like, the only thing I didn't like about the old loot box Overwatch was the duplicate thing. Where, like, let's say you got a legendary Reinhardt skin, like, cool. A couple weeks later, you get the same skin, and you get gold back for it. Cool, but you got like 10% of the value of the gold for getting repeats. I was like, if it was like a quarter or a third or something, maybe I would have felt a little better about getting repeat skins, because I feel like I got the same legendary skin for Pharah like 6 times.
Yep, that's happened to me. Like, it's like it wasn't, the reward was not good.
So I like that protection they're putting in about the box re-rolls itself, so you actually get a chance of getting some. That's good.
But if you ended up pulling a legendary skin for Pharah 4 times, and the legendary in the re-roll protection comes up, and instead of getting another legendary skin, you get a sticker.
Oh yeah, let's not forget that.
But at the same time, on the old system, I didn't get enough gold points to do anything with the duplicate anyway.
You're right.
So it's like, at least I got.
They gave you a sticker.
Yeah.
But it's like the fucking loot boxes, the old loot boxes, like, it's all RNG, right? And a lot of the times you would get a ton of trash in those loot boxes. Like, all right, I got lucky with some skins and some legendary skins on rolls, but there were times that like I had at least 10 boxes of nothing but bullshit. Fucking sprays and mic and voice line. Why? Why are voice lines in a loot box? I don't care about voice lines.
How much you want to bet this time around is going to be nothing but sprays and voice lines?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
It's Overwatch.
that's
bro.
what I'm saying.
I mean,
People
all
are
right,
gonna
let me
complain
not
about
disparage
that.
Overwatch like they haven't given us good stuff in these boxes, but
Yeah.
like, you know, they got a new champion coming out when season 15 starts. I believe her name was Freya.
Yeah.
And then they have they're like I said, they're making some changes. They're making adjustments. So I don't know.
People
We'll
want
see
the
what
skins in the loot box. No one gives a shit about no damn voice lines. Come on, man. Like, yo, no one cares about that or profile icons and shit. Here's what they could have done. They could have made it so that the credits that you earn in the game was a little bit more, right? So you can buy like the non-legendary skins easier. They could have done that. Just adjust that. Because now you have to also wonder, like, what if they bring back loot boxes? It's going to be like a monkey's paw, right? Loot boxes came back, and it's like, okay, they came back, but the drop rate's low as fuck. All right.
Mhm.
Oh wait, how many characters are in Overwatch now?
50 something? I don't remember.
It's a lot. It's like 70. It's like 70 characters, 70 plus
Mhm.
characters.
I really couldn't tell you.
Excuse- we got 13. Yeah, it's only like around 50.
So 50 characters, right? And when the loot boxes come back, that loot box has to cycle through, oh God, so many skins, so many voice lines, so many profile icons, so many sprays. That's a lot of
Oh,
shit.
sorry, not even. We're at 42. Freya will be 43.
Okay, 43 heroes, all the skins, all the voice lines, all the sprays, all the profile pictures and shit. We're talking what it Overwatch is like 10 years, isn't it? 10 years old?
2017.
Well, it's close to 10 years old. That's almost 10 years of variable content that all these loot boxes have to cycle through, which is wild. That drop rate, when you really think about it, is going to be low for what you want.
If they include all of the stuff.
It's going to include all the stuff. Because these loot boxes, they cycle through everything, unless it's, I think the only time it didn't was like, wasn't like certain event boxes or whatever.
Certain holiday skins weren't available. Like, if I remember right, it was certain holiday skins weren't available after a certain amount of time for regular loot boxes. Like, but it was like 6 months after the event, you might have been able to get like a Halloween skin or something like that.
Or
Yeah,
Christmas
exactly.
skin or
Yeah.
something.
So it's like, yeah, loot boxes are coming back, but you got to think about all the content that it's going to have to cycle through. Like that skin that you want, that you really, really want, like that. Let's say there's
That's
a
very
Reaper
true. I
skin.
didn't even think about that RNG aspect with how much has been added to the game since they got rid of loot boxes.
Oh yeah, y'all gonna be mad about that. Trust me, by the end of the year, they're gonna be like, take this shit away, please.
I mean, at this point, if they're listening to players, I can't complain. They're listening to players, and the players don't know what they want because the players ain't the ones that made the game, and they ain't the one that made the business. You know?
Listen,
So,
just let me buy my.
even me being a player, I don't know what I want.
Exactly.
I just know when I don't like something.
Listen, just let me buy what I want right out. If you put a skin in, just let me buy that right out. I'm not pulling down the slot machine to hopefully get the skin I want when an event comes out. Just let me buy that shit straight out. But make it a reasonable price. I think that was the biggest problem that people had with the new way that they did it, was that a lot of the shit was just too expensive. Like, there would be basic skins that were basically just a reskin of another skin that were like close to $20.
So you're saying that you don't think the loot boxes?
I don't. Not now. Not with all the content that they have to cycle through, all the RNG that has to go through years and years of content, all the new characters, all the new skins for those characters. That now, if you're a new player who's joining Overwatch, or if you're an old player that hasn't played in a while and you're coming back, you haven't consistently played enough to unlock all that stuff, but there's now something new that you specifically want for that character. If that's tucked away behind a loot box, you're probably not going to get it for a long time.
All right. So since you played both Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, do you have a preference on the system?
What do you mean, like a preference on either buying the skin outright over a loot box?
Like
Buying the skin.
Basically, how each game does their monetization right now.
Yeah.
What's your preference?
I prefer Rivals. Just let me buy my skin. That's it. I'm not.
And you can still buy them.
If I can still buy it, cool. But if I can't buy it, and now the new monetization way for Overwatch goes back to the old way of like you had to like
loot box only.
Loot box only. No, thank you. I'm good. Not for me. Because that skin is going to end up costing me way more in the long run because I'm going to have to buy loot boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And it is addicting.
All right. So not just for you guys, but for everybody else. Is loot boxes returning, and all of the information that I actually shared with us getting over 100 loot boxes, or approximately 100 loot boxes for season 15, is that enough to make you want to go back and try Overwatch 2? I've heard some people say, "Oh, I'll go back and try it," not because of the loot boxes, just because of some of the other things that they have going on. You know what I mean?
If I go back to play, it would be to try all the heroes I haven't played in God knows how long. Because I think the newest, I have to like look at the damn hero thing. I think the newest hero that was out the last time I played Overwatch was whoever the first character was that after Kiriko when Overwatch 2 came out. I don't even remember who that was.
For me, it was Kiriko.
No, that wasn't Ramacha. That was
when Overwatch 2 first came out. I played it for a little while. I was like, oh, this is 5v5? Oh, so y'all went 5v5 and y'all nerf tanks and y'all nerf shields? Yeah, I'm good. I'm not playing this no
more. It was Ramacha. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was December 2022.
Wow, that's great.
Last person I played was that girl that has the drill, Venture or whatever.
Yeah.
I played like 2 games and I quickly hopped off that shit and I was like, I'm good. I was like, I'm good, bro.
It was still 5v5, wasn't it?
Still 5v5. Just I was like,
can't do it.
I'm just saying that with all of the balancing and stuff that they try to do, and with all of the things that they worked on for so long in Overwatch, like changing it to 5v5 just didn't feel like it, bro. Like,
nah.
I was good on a 6v6, 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 DPS. I was good on a 6v6 where people could pick whatever it was that they wanted to do. So you could run a 3 DPS, 1 tank team. You could run a 3 healer, 2 DPS, 1 tank team. Like, you could run 3 tanks because you still had your tanks that were like DPS. But the fact of the matter is that they restricted picks, and they're also adding hero bans.
Oh, where I got that idea from?
Yeah, right.
League of Legends. I mean,
technically yes. Technically yes, League. I mean, it's a good idea.
I mean, here's my thing. As a company, if we got to lock on the hero shooter avenue, right? Mm-hmm. And there's nothing else that's out here trying to take over, then we don't have a problem. You start up a league and you got all of this stuff that you got going on. You had the Overwatch League. You're making money hand over fist. New kid on the block comes in, does it the way that you used to do it, and obviously is retaining their player base after how long? It's been months at this point, and Marvel Rivals is retaining the crap out of their player base.
Yeah.
Like, to a point where that has to be studied. If you think that it's a exact ripoff of your original game, then guess what? Your original game was a success. Why is your current one failing?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, like
Exactly. What up, Goji?
no one will ever know the magic behind playing OG Overwatch 2016. It was chaotic. There were no expectations of it being this competitive esports game. It was just dumb fun with your friends.
Oh, Goji, I do have to tell you. So I know that you wanted to go to that Gundam event this weekend. I'm sorry that you couldn't go. And the one thing that did come good out of that was we got an old art. So we're winning, bro. I'll make sure that you get what you're looking for. And I appreciate, you sharing your gaming enthusiasm. Hopefully I'll get you connected to you know, some of these gaming communities so that we can get you up to speed before the actual real game launches. So, welcome.
Also, roll Q killed it.
What is it?
Nah, I
Oh,
like
so
roll.
roll
No,
queuing.
I liked roll queue. I thought that was a good idea.
I think
The
Here's
reason
my
why
thing. You don't need to roll queue if you allow people to, like, if you don't lock people into tank, DPS, and heal.
But that's the thing. Like a lot of people do like maining those roles. So versus let
True.
it be chaotic and rank and pick whatever you want. Because those early rank days of Overwatch was the Wild West where
Pretty
people
bad.
just picked what
Yeah.
they wanted. And everyone learned the hard way. It's like, hey, I know it sucks, but there's a meta to be successful, win these games. Gotta
But
suck it up and play it.
the issue with roll queuing is if we roll queue and like if you roll queue by yourself and you're on DPS, you're waiting 10-15 minutes for a game.
yeah.
Which is
I mean,
all-
but
If you
that's
roll queue as a tank, you're waiting 5 minutes. And if you're roll queuing as a healer, you're by yourself, instant, almost instant. Until you pick Moira, and then everybody has a problem.
that
because
just goes
more
to show
players
that
don't
people-
heal.
That just goes to show that motherfuckers need to grow the hell up, learn some other roles, or take what comes with playing DPS all the time. It's the same thing in every MMO.
But-
70% of the player base is DPS because no one wants to play anything else, and that's fine. DPS. I DPS a lot in MMOs in League and all that. And if I gotta have a longer queue time, that's my fault. I'm gonna find a guy duo to queue with to make it shorter.
I think I know what the problem is. I think it's because a lot of the non-DPS roles are not made to be fun. They haven't figured out a way to make them very fun and engaging for people where they can be like, "Oh shit, this is fun as fuck." The one game that I think makes tanking and healing fun and doesn't feel like a boring chore is Final Fantasy 14 because there's so many different jobs in those classes that play supremely different. Like playing as a Dark Knight or I can't remember that. What is it? Gunbreaker or a Gunbreaker in 14 is the most satisfying tanking experience that I've ever had in the game. Like it doesn't make me feel like I'm just playing a boring ass tank. Like I'm having fun while tanking as a Dark Knight or a Gunbreaker. Same with playing Astrologian in 14 too. That's fun as hell. I think more games need to focus on how can I make people want to play a tank? How can I make people want to play a healer? Come and think of some inventive fun shit. It's not that hard.
I don't know. Rivals is kind of fun when I'm healing.
Yeah,
That's
Rivals
true.
has made it fun. Rivals did the thing made every role fun. Like Overwatch was like main and healing Overwatch, even in the good days of Overwatch, was never really fun.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
will say-
You ain't wrong about that.
What I will say is that today some news came out, and I just want you guys to know, even though we have a new patch coming up in Rivals very soon, there was some news that came out that the Seattle studio that was working on Marvel Rivals, their staff has been laid off as well as one of their supporting directors. So things could change in the future for Rivals. It's not their main studio, from what I understand, and not all of their employees have been laid off, but they've been hit with some layoffs. So
I'm trying to
just
figure out like
keep an
what
eye
big
out for any
studio.
impact on that in the future. Now, moving back into Overwatch 2, I did want to talk a little bit more about Overwatch 2 because if you guys have been playing since 2016 like I have, then you know that Overwatch 2 has been making some promises to us. They've been telling us that they're going to be coming out with something, and we've been looking forward to that coming out for a very, 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 very long time. And they even transitioned from Overwatch 1 into Overwatch 2 with the promise that they were moving into Overwatch 2 for this purpose. Now, at this point in time, the way that I see Overwatch 2, they could have just kept it Overwatch 1 and continued adding characters. They did not add characters often enough for them to warrant any change in my book, but Overwatch 2 was actually a revamp, quote unquote, of systems because they were supposed to be adding PvE. I have been waiting for PvE in Overwatch since 2016. We got events every once in a while, and we'll discuss that in about 30 seconds anyway. So, since we know that we have had small PvE events, small story events, and things of that nature, there has always been some kind of a hope for Overwatch 2 having PvE. Now, we all know that Overwatch 2 was very successful for quite a while because it pretty much owned the lane when it came down to hero shooters. Rivals comes along, and now Overwatch 2 isn't by itself in the lane anymore. It's not the only car on the highway. So now it actually has to race. I don't know what that means for what the future of Overwatch 2 is, but I do know that some of the things that they're going to be focused on is player retention. So, with all of that being said, we actually have gotten an interview with one of the creative directors for Overwatch 2, and we got confirmation that they will not be bringing back archive missions. So we still don't have any confirmation that PvE is going to be happening anytime soon, but we do have confirmation that they will not be bringing back the archive missions. Those were the little PvE missions that were added between 2017 and 2019. It was a yearly event that was offered, for a limited time, where they would let you play through certain aspects of the story. It was kind of a storytelling piece that kind of gave you
I actually like
background to the lore of the Overwatch world. Okay. Now, what happened was recently it was asked about those archive missions, and it was confirmed that while they were working on the PvE aspect of the game, they were using a new code base and new tools, and the archive missions broke. So, in order for them to bring back the archive missions, they would have to pretty much redo them from scratch. Pretty much redo them completely. And since they needed to remake the archive missions, they didn't think that developers weren't really sure if it was worth the resources to do so. So, but it was also stated in that same interview, and this is recent, I promise. This is recent. It was stated in the same interview that they're still working on PvE content and they want to get back into storytelling. So, we're still remaining hopeful for some kind of PvE in Overwatch 2 at some point.
Also,
now, let me ask. Does PvE affect how much you want to or would want to play Overwatch 2?
that was the whole marketing thing behind Overwatch 2.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I was looking forward more to that whenever that was getting added versus like the sequel
game coming more, more game.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. Where's that PvE mode though? Because it actually sounds cool as shit. Especially what pisses me off the most is they actually showed previews of it, like you fighting like Omnics and stuff like that, and having different skill sets. I was like, oh shit, this looks cool shit. And they were like, nah, never mind. It's like,
Yeah.
you know how many people were just straight up looking forward to that? Because yeah, like Overwatch was fun until they started going crazy with balance and making 5v5. But it was like, all right, this would have been a cool extra mode for co-op or solo, whatever you want to do, just to breathe some new life into the game. And
I was
they
hyped.
decided to not.
Yeah.
Apparently,
hyped,
our
man.
audience says, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want to do it. I don't even want it. Like, I'm good off Blizzard. I'm good off. I'm good." Now,
They said, "No, I'm good."
I'm just gonna be like, I mean, sure, we have
Hey, yo.
like, and I'll be honest, we have friends of the show who have connections with Blizzard, and some of the things that that they're connected to are great.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not gonna judge the entire company based off of what one studio is doing, because obviously they're different studios, different.
That might not even be a studio thing, or rather,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's
developer thing.
different studios or different departments or different teams or different developers or different styles. There's a whole bunch of different factors. I just don't know that. I don't know that this is the right move. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
The game some more meat to the bones, man. Like, you had all these things that were promised that were like the main reason
The
that
draw.
you even justified in Overwatch 2. Hey, we can't do this in Overwatch 1, but we're doing this for Overwatch 2. So you have to play Overwatch 2. And then y'all dropped all that. And we're like, oh, by the way, we're also reducing the player count to a 5-person versus 5 instead of a 6v6. And also, you can't play Overwatch 1. It's just going to
Anymore
update
by
Overwatch
itself.
2.
Didn't we have to pay for Overwatch 1?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
$50, $50, $60, whatever it was on release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
And now
didn't-
Overwatch 2 is free for everybody.
Mhm.
Okay.
We didn't, and we really didn't even get we really didn't even get compensated either. Like when that switch over came, like you didn't see like the equivalent of whatever money that like whatever the currency is in game.
Because you got your 6 years of early access.
I feel like you should have. Here's what I think should have happened. I think for the people who purchased Overwatch 1 and it was just updating the game, they should have gave you an equivalent of $60, whatever the in-game
You
currency
got your
was.
6 years of early access. You had your Super Deluxe Founders Pack.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Basically, 6 years early access. 6 years in beta, baby.
I mean, you got characters, you got skins, you got everything. You got all of that early. Like you got that before everybody who didn't want to spend money on the game could have access to it.
Hold up, and then they still locked away. Like before they changed that whole thing, they still locked away the new characters behind the battle pass. So you had to get the battle pass if you wanted to play the new characters early.
Yup.
This was at launch for Overwatch 2, by the way. It's like
you had yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's like the worst things that you can do for a game's launch. They did that for Overwatch 2, and they never recovered from that.
Hey.
Remember the team up moves that you saw in the Overwatch 2 trailer?
All the ones that are in Marvel Rivals?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Wrong.
Rivals did implement the team up moves that we were supposed to get.
The team up moves are there, just wrong game.
Yeah.
My bad.
I was like, hold up. You mean if you have Brigitte and Reinhardt, their shields can interlock and shit? Not in the game.
Oh nah. You know why? Because they nerfed shields.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They brought the shields down on Reinhardt from like 1,200 to like 1,000, or from 1,200 to like 8.
Bro, I was a Reinhardt man. Do you know how much that actually hurt to play him?
I was a Brig main, bro.
I was so pissed off.
When I found out that her shield was only 250, I was like,
Yeah. That was annoying.
And she literally heals by going in and beating up the enemy, and they nerfed the heal. She had no sustain. I literally have to hand to hand.
They took that game and they shot it.
Hold on.
They took it out back and Old Yeller it.
Overwatch. I had to hand a Genji.
Yeah, you just
Hanzo. A Reaper. A Sombra. A Tracer.
Well, to be fair, if you're hand to hand with a Reaper, you're probably already dead.
I'm just saying that as a Brigitte, I had to hand these characters. You felt my shield was too overpowered.
Yep.
And my heals were just too overpowered. All of my whole kit was just so strong that I needed a nerf. Even though they could hit me 20 times before I could lay my mace on them one time to show them the fear of God.
If there's a Widowmaker, you're probably already dead anyway. Like,
if this
to be
was
fair.
intelligent at all.
But that requires them to be good.
Bro. If you want to make changes, give me a range move.
I said that she needs a range move. I've been said that. I was like,
hold on.
She needs a good
You
gap.
said Brig was broke when she was first dropped. I'm talking about not when she was first dropped. I'm talking about middle of Overwatch, all the way like after roll queue, all the way through till Overwatch 2, where she was in that balanced state. Because when Brig was broke, I was a Zenyatta main.
And to be fair, there's nothing in Brigitte's kit that's gonna stop her from getting popped in the head by Widowmaker. I'm being for real.
Didn't they nerf headshots?
Oh yeah, you're right. They actually
or nerf snipers.
No
more one-shot kills. It's like 2 shots now.
Is it?
Nah, I think Widow can still get one shot.
Widow can still do it.
Yeah.
They actually
I think Widow is the only one that can still one shot.
I think they increased the hitbox on the head. Actually, now.
Yeah,
so
but for every other character, it's no more one-shot kills.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Okay. If PvP was actually added to Overwatch 2, would you go back?
PvE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To try it. Yeah. At least to try that. I can't talk shit about it and then not try it.
Yeah. I'm going to. They add PvE and I'm going to try it.
Widow and Hanzo still can one-tap, but crits were nerfed.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so you would go back and you would try PvE. I mean, I've been waiting for so many years for PvE. I would definitely go back and try it. Like, I would literally install the game just to try it.
Well, here's the thing, too. Apparently, the perks that they're adding in where they switch up the gameplay, from what it looks like it's the shit that they didn't add at launch. But no one else has recognized that? Like, no one else picked that up? That is just the shit that they didn't add in at launch?
He said, honestly, nah, I would watch y'all play. That's crazy. But again, this goes to show how betrayed some of the audience can feel. And how easily betrayed that the audience can feel. Like, yeah, I'd go back and I'd try it, but I don't know that I'd be staying for very long, because at that point, you've already ingrained in us that, number one, whatever you give us in PvE ain't gonna stay long. It's not gonna be a permanent fixture.
Or the PvE mode that they brought back caused a lot of controversy because you had to pay for it, apparently, and people were very pissed off about that. So I was like, I don't know if I trust you. Maybe things will change now because Rivals is picking up a lot of steam and basically kicking their ass. So this might be what Overwatch needs to actually be a solid game again, which is good. I'm glad that some kind of competition is just like, yo, damn, we're really losing people. That's crazy. All right, how do we get people back in and keep player base we got?
Speaking of Rivals, like, do you think since the PvE was so long awaited that could be a way that they bring players back from Rivals? And if so, how do they retain them? how do you retain your player base that you get back from rivals? If you can find that draw, that one magical thing that brings everybody back. If not everybody, at least a good portion of your audience back. If you can find that thing, how do you keep the people?
Because Rivals has one of the things that, and I love Overwatch. Don't get me wrong, I love the characters that are in Overwatch, but they ain't Marvel heroes and villains. Like, I can play Wolverine, Cyclops is coming, Gambit's coming. Like,
there's a small teaser of Blade, apparently.
Small teaser of Blade. Like, I have access to over close to 100 years of different characters,
and they've taken
that I've grown up with since I was a child.
they've taken almost 10 years to give us 42, 43,
about to be 43.
To be fair, it is harder to come up with an original character as opposed to a list of over thousands.
That is very true.
Thousands. Thousands.
Yeah, they have a library they can go to. Be like, all right, we do an event, Fantastic Four Act. You know what?
How often do we get an Overwatch character release? Was it once a year or once every 6 months?
Well, apparently, last character came out was August, so we're looking at 6-7 months.
Yeah, something about that.
And before August,
I just had the timeline up.
I thought that dude with the crystal that comes out his back, he was released like 2 months ago. Wasn't he? Spike or whatever the fuck his name is.
Juno came out. Oh, Spike. Yeah, Spike is the one that just came out. Spike just came out. Wait.
December, I think.
This timeline I was looking at was wrong. Where's the... Is his name Spike? What the hell's his name?
That's the only thing I can remember is he had spikes coming out of him.
Oh, the weird dude. Yeah. The hell's his name? The hell's that motherfucker's name? Hazard. Jesus Christ.
Hazard. That was it. Yeah, Hazard.
Okay, Hazard came out. Why is this not just an easy to find information? He just came out January 10th. So from August to January was the gap. Yeah. And then before that, it was April to August. Yeah, they had 3 characters in 2023, 2 in 2024. And 2022, they had a decent amount, because that's when Overwatch 2 came out. So they had Junker Queen come out with that, and then they had Kiriko right not too long after launch, and then Ramatra 2022. So yeah, like it looks like they do between 2 to 3 characters, whatever they have time to do.
So 2 to 3
possible. Rivals is dropping 5 characters at a time every time they do an update.
Yeah, but again, the hard work of trying to come up with a concept of that character and its powers that's done for Rivals. They don't need to do that.
Now, the question is that even though you have all of these, like, they still have to have a way to make the power work. They still have to go through a whole bunch of different things like that. But yeah, and I'm not saying that Overwatch is moving slowly or too slowly, but there was a point where we were only getting 1 character a year.
Yeah, that was
2021.
Yeah,
20. All during COVID.
Well, to be fair, that was COVID. But that was COVID, so like a lot of shit was not optimal as it used.
That was your opportunity to go ham.
How do you have a remote work setup? I mean,
are you telling me that?
No.
Are you telling me that a remote work setup is less efficient than?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is during COVID, people are still trying to adjust to how the new things are gonna work. So, I'm more lenient. I'm more lenient to that sort of shit during a pandemic
period.
But that's a pandemic. Huh?
How long is the adjustment period?
At least until we're endemic.
So it takes 3 years to adjust?
Nah. But for context, Now, for context, we did it. They did basically do a year and almost 2 years between when COVID started to release the new character.
Yeah.
Echo came out April 2020. We were a month in a lockdown.
Soon as we they already had Echo in the works.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
But then we got nothing 2021.
Yeah.
And then they scrapped everything until Overwatch 2 came out. So we had basically 2 years.
Echo was literally their last thing, and they just went into Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
And overhauled.
Actually, I just realized something too. When I was talking about like how Marvel already has a bunch of these characters, I just realized like, wait, there's like a whole there's numerous artwork of characters that already exist that aren't in the game for Overwatch. I just realized.
Yeah, there's tons of concept art.
Yeah, and there's tons of characters too that work for the Overwatch that are in the Overwatch organization in world that they've shown, like when they were trying to find the whole team of Overwatch in that one cinematic. There's characters that are in that we have not seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess technically they do have that. God damn it!
Figuring out moves and powers. I'm just saying.
I was like, damn, my argument's really falling apart right now. I was trying to give Overwatch the benefit of the doubt, man. Like, I was trying to give them a leg up. Marvel Rivals still does have the advantage of already having access to thousands of characters with already preset, known powers. All you gotta do is figure out
got to implement
how to implement it, and then come up with a nice new twist on what they look like.
So, is there something that you feel or think that Marvel Rivals is doing better than Overwatch 2 that is actually causing them to see the surge in retention in characters and popularity? Like, not characters, but in their audience retention. Like, they're retaining their audience. Like, what do you think is keeping people at Marvel Rivals that won't keep people at Overwatch?
It's chaotic at Marvel Rivals, and that's a good thing. It's in terms of like the amount of crazy shit that can happen per game in Overwatch because of how all the abilities are. Listen, you can have Doctor Strange open a portal and set up a portal over the enemy team and then airdrop in Scarlet Witch while she charges her ult and have her obliterate the entire team.
Yeah,
you don't really get to do that. No
has done things differently for the sake of
esports,
balance, competitive
esports,
Overwatch League, esports. So
I think that was the biggest problem. Was like,
so you think esports is the problem?
I'd say balancing strictly around esports because there was a point in time where it wasn't like that for Overwatch, and then as the esports scene started blossoming, that's where I think a lot of the decisions for Overwatch went from, hey, here's this fun competitive game that you can play with friends and all that shit, to, yo, how do we make this balanced around the pros? And again, I don't think the pros specifically is how you want to balance a game around that, because the pros are like the top 1% of the player base. Everybody else, the 99% of the players, aren't that level and will never be that level. But the decisions that you make now affect the 99% of us who don't play at the competitive pro scene where we're getting paid thousands of dollars to play the game.
So are you saying that you're content with being trash?
Yes. I'm definitely not pro level. Like, I'm never going to be pro level. I'm not going to kid myself on that. I'm not going to be like Necros or any of these guys. Like, no, I'm not going to be. Like,
I'm never going to say something like that because I'm a competitor.
Listen, if you
at least you know you're as good as Ninja.
What do you mean? I actually take accountability for when I lose.
True. Never mind. You're already better.
Yeah, right. I'm already better than him.
Crazy.
I don't
because this controller ain't working right. My joystick's a little to the left, and it keeps on turning this way, and it must be not plugged in right, and the communication must be off between the
I
joystick
knew-
dongle and
I knew that game wasn't for him since I messed him. I knew that game wasn't for him. He's like, I played Mantis. I had 40 kills. How much you healing? 4,000. You might be playing this game wrong, bro. But maybe you should play DPS.
Yeah, he's like, we lost. Yes, because you decided to get 40 kills as Mantis. You didn't.
and it's
Kill
40
me.
kills. How many last hits? How many solo kills?
No, the problem is he had
Like
4,000
healers
healing.
don't have that much damage with they're able to just take down other people like that easily.
It's the fact that he had 4,000 healing as Mantis.
What did we do the other day?
And then blame the loss on everyone else.
How much healing did I have the other day on Invisible Woman? And after you had said you can't even see how she heals, I think I ended up with like 24k healing.
Yeah. I mean, now I know
And
how
like
to use her.
18k shielding.
Now I know how to use her. But it's
Which is let me be honest, even for myself, that's insane numbers.
if
but-
you are healing, your healing should never be. You should never end the game with 4,000 healing.
No.
That you didn't even try.
Even my worst games, I probably ended with like 8k.
Yeah. Usually the low end of most healers is like 8k.
Something.
Typically.
Unless
4K
they are
means you
completely shutting us out, or every time the healer respawns, somebody is right there in their face to kill them. Like at that point, I could understand, because I've had those games too
That's
where I
true.
never got to my team because the team isn't listening and coming back to the base and taking out the DPS that's sitting there camping.
That is very true. That is very true. I had to argue with somebody who kept complaining that they weren't getting heals, but he kept running away from me around corners, expecting me to chase him. And I'm like,
Why can't you
That's
heal
another
through
thing.
walls, bro?
no.
That is another thing. I do not heal those who go and overextend. So if my whole team pushes up and we're supposed to be on a point, I'll be at the point. Y'all know
And
what
we
to come
kept getting
back to.
dived on.
Huh?
And we kept getting dived on by, I think, Black Panther and Venom the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the healers suck ass. It's like, well, you didn't protect me. You just let me get killed.
Yeah.
I can't heal you if I'm dead. I'm sorry about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you play Marvel Rivals and you have a healer, make sure to protect them. If you want your healer to continue to heal you, first of all, play tank.
Yeah.
Healers are going to prioritize tanks over DPS, because even though the DPS are the ones who actually go out and push out damage, DPS also are usually a tad bit faster. So DPS, you should, like, if you're playing a game like that as a DPS player, you should know where your health packs are.
Yup,
If you
they're
know where
always
your
on the
health packs
sides.
are, then you should have certain paths that you run along that will get you to your health packs. Now, if you are playing as a tank, your healers should be healing your tanks. They're slower. They actually push objectives. So the goal is to make sure that your tanks stay up as long as possible, so your DPS can branch off just a little bit, not too far. You obviously don't want to go too far from the rest of the team, and that is how you're going to put together a strategy. Keep it efficient, because if my tanks are healed up, if my tanks are full, and my DPS run over back to group up every once in a while, they go out, they do the thing, they run back to group up, my DPS is getting fully healed. I'm going to take care of my DPS. My tanks stay full.
Yeah.
If we're in a big team fight, I am not focused on who I'm healing. I'm looking towards the tank and I'm throwing everything this way. Come on, bro. You catching it. Like, you're going to catch the heals.
Yeah, as someone who plays all the roles, if I'm playing DPS, I usually tell my healer, don't worry about me, I got it. And I'll go get a health pack. If it's a intense fight, I've done some diving or whatever, I just go find a health pack so they can focus on the tank. Because I know he needs the healing a whole lot more than me. I know where the health packs are. They're always on the side of the lane. Just so people who are playing this, or people who may be first-time players or watchers or whatever, and you play DPS or whatever, your health packs are always on the side of the lane. They will always be on the side. Just go run to the side and go find your health packs.
In a little building, in a little hallway.
You know how bad the some of the DPS epidemic is for like asking for healing. saw a clip of someone playing Invisible Woman. Scarlet Witch was begging for healing. This bitch was standing next to an unused health pack for like 10 seconds, spamming "I need heals." And I'm like, if you just turn your ass around and look 5 pixels away, bitch, there's a health pack, and you can get back in the fight. She was healing the goddamn tanks and pushing up the goddamn cart like she's supposed to be, and you're like, need healing, need healing, need healing. I implore you, just turn left.
And I'm gonna be
You'll
honest with you, if
fine.
I'm playing Scarlet Witch, I'm sticking to a tank's pocket.
Yeah. Or nowadays, I usually stay around the healers because they get dived on, and she's like one of the best anti-dive characters you can have. Spider-Man tries to jump my healers. Nope, not on my watch. You may swing over to us, but you ain't swinging back. I love it. I usually get a Spider-Man player to get off of Spider-Man because of that. It's fantastic.
All right, now I know that you guys are here for exactly what we're about to talk about. So since we got a couple of more minutes, we're actually going to make sure that we talk about it because there have been quite a few conversations. I've seen Asmongold even covered it in the video really quickly. Well, not really quickly, but he covered it in the video recently. Like
King
Ubisoft
Roach.
is in trouble, bro. Huh?
I say King Roach.
Him and his roach covered it.
Ubisoft is in trouble, bro.
Yeah. It's
Like basically the information that he had showed that Ubisoft's revenue had gone down approximately 34% since in the past year. Now, all right, to give a little bit of backstory, we've discussed over the past few months some of the financial troubles that Ubisoft had been going through and some of the things that Ubisoft might have been, experiencing. Rumors of being bought out, rumors of them having to file bankruptcy if their next game isn't a hit. As we all know, Assassin's Creed Shadows is their next game. I still probably think that they were hoping that Star Wars Outlaws was going to do it for them. That game didn't really turn out to be much of a success. They put out X Defiant and Hyperscape last year, and both of those games actually shut down pretty quickly for the life cycle of a game. They really didn't last as long as some other games out here on the market would have lasted. If I'm being honest, it didn't last very long at all. And of course, we know that at this point, Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be like Assassin's Creed in general is the company's bread and butter. Now, one thing that I read in the article yesterday myself was the fact that Ubisoft is deciding to change direction a little bit. And when I say that they're deciding to change direction a little bit, what are the games? Can you name a couple of the games that are most well known besides Assassin's Creed coming from Ubisoft?
Far Cry.
Or at least for you.
Oh, Far Cry.
Far Cry. What kind of game would you consider Far Cry?
Shooter.
Yeah.
Shooter. Watch Dogs.
Bad GTA clone.
Oh yeah, you hate
For
Watch
Honor.
Dogs. I forgot about that.
For Honor was their last good original IP.
That's true.
Let's be honest. The last good original IP.
Okay. I'm not even,
Yeah.
I don't know what came out after that.
They had-
Well,
No,
like,
they had that Olympian game that came out after that. That was kind of like a
Steep?
Tears of the
Steep?
It
That
was
was
like a
Ubisoft,
Tears of the
huh?
Kingdom ripoff.
Oh my god.
Wait, which game ripoff? Sorry.
It was like a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style game.
Oh. The
That's
Greek
actually a
mythology,
good
the Greek
game,
mythology
bro.
game.
That was a good game.
Yeah, that was a good ass game. Wings of something, right?
I don't even think
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Immortals, Phoenix Rising. That
That's
was a
actually really
good
good.
game.
That was a
It
good
was it undersold though, but it was a good game. Like I can't even front like,
I was surprised by it.
yeah, it was good. It was fun. The DLC sold. Like the game was good.
go see. Is that one?
And honestly, like between the Prince of Persia's, the Immortals Phoenix Rising, the Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, the Division.
Bro, I just want a Division 3. Like,
but if we get a Division 3, it has to be like the Division 1. It can't be like that little Division mobile game that they were trying to push out.
Dude, the problem with the Division, like, I don't know what they did with both games. They just do not know how to stick the landing with that game. Comes out, campaign's fun as hell, co-op. The PvP zone's great. In my opinion, I love what's it called again?
The Dark Zone is so.
Yeah, Dark
Oh
Zone.
my god!
Hold on,
I
Tommy
love Dark
T.
Zone.
Tommy T. You did not want the Division Homeland, the one that's in the extraction shooter. Trust me, you did not want the Division Homeland. You know how I know you didn't want the Division Homeland? Because I played it.
He tortured himself for that shit.
I played it for days.
The rest of us did not.
It was I was a beta tester. I beta test quite a bit of games. I played it. It was not good. It needed something. They actually made you switch between characters because each character that you got a level of a certain level of infection every time that they went out into the world. It was weird. It just didn't do it. And they gave you a mobile style gameplay loop. So you did not want the Division Homeland. But what did they do, Raijin, that they missed? Where did they miss? Because Endgame.
In both games.
Yeah. You don't get the good endgame until fucking the DLC. Like the base endgame
in the base
is underwhelming.
The base endgame, because endgames are games like that, whether it be a Destiny or a traditional MMO, it's supposed to keep you coming back, whether it be getting exclusive loot or doing a hard mode or whatever nonsense, getting achievements for other people, whatever. There's always like something enticing, but both games just did not have good base end game. Then you have to wait for the DLC. Ubisoft, and a lot of times, if I remember right, didn't the DLC for Division 2 get really delayed?
Yeah.
What was that?
Because they went back to New York, and it was like 2 years later.
Yeah.
It was a great DLC too.
But that's what.
But you know,
too little, too late. It's too late at that point. People are playing other shit.
Because Division 2, their end game really didn't come. Their game loop walked you through DC and then walked you back. And I know that people wanted raids and stuff, right? That was essentially what people wanted from the Division. They wanted the big raids or whatever that you would experience in Destiny. And Ubisoft has a way of not providing that on initial release because they did the same thing with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Raids and removing the levels would have saved a lot of people. It probably would have saved Ghost Recon Breakpoint, but they promised us raids and they didn't deliver for years.
I keep saying, like, here's what they should do. Also, with Division 2, I feel like DC was not the best location. Should have been like
Wildlands is better than Breakpoint. 1000% agree.
I feel like Philly would have been a better city to base the Division 2 in my opinion.
You also could have did another.
DC's small.
You also could have did another country.
Oh yeah, I would have been fine with Division London.
Yeah, like Division London or like something like
Paris,
Division Dubai,
Division Tokyo, like
Division Hong Kong.
Ooh, yes. Division Shanghai. You can do Italy.
Division Johannesburg.
Hold on.
Division Brazil.
No, I don't know. I was just about to say he's about to say Division Rio or something like
Rio
that.
de Janeiro.
Yes. Division Rio. Like, you can have the Dark Zone be the favelas and shit. Like, there's so much crazy shit you can do. You can have
Cancun.
You can have Venice in Italy.
San Francisco.
If I were to make a Division 3, I told you
probably name 100 cities better than Philly.
Seattle, you could have done that.
Nah, no way won't Seattle.
I got that.
North.
Hey, it worked for Infamous Second Son.
I'm just saying, Seattle is cool. Like,
I'm glad it
Imagine
worked for the
in the
weakest
Space
Infamous games.
What?
I said I still love Second Son, but I was like, I'm happy it worked for the weakest Infamous game.
The weakest Infamous game?
1 and 2 are better.
Yeah, but I still like.
By process elimination, what does that make it? The weakest game.
Listen, I told you if I were to make a division, if I were to make a Division 3, which I think they should just pump out. I think they should just not pump out, but they should just put out a Division 3. Just work on Division 3.
Okay. So the big news is
I got my idea for it.
that Ubisoft has already announced that going forward, they're literally focused on live service games and open world games. That's what their focus is.
I ain't learned shit.
Like
Dude.
I'm not gonna lie. At this point,
Ain't that how we got here?
when that CEO keeps making these announcements, I was like, you know what? You deserve to fail getting one out. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how often you gotta look at someone that has the cheat code of what people want for the most part of games, and how you keep getting the same feedback for over 10 years, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna stick to it. Like, I appreciate being that obstinate a little bit sometimes, but nah, man, you gotta go.
I'm just saying, this is also the same company that gave us Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And when they heard that Black Flag was popular and was a success, they said, all right, we're going to focus directly on Black Flag, and gave us Skull and Bones.
12 years later. 13 years later. Shit, wait, hold up. Yeah, 12 years
All
later.
I'm saying is, all you had to do, like, focusing on live service and, like, focusing on live service games and open world games is how you got here.
Like, now I'm not gonna lie, I'm buying Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's one of my favorite franchises.
I mean, the pre-orders for Shadows is amazing. Like, they said they already got like 30 million pre-orders.
Yeah.
Damn.
And they also said that they're confident that the game isn't going to be pushed back again.
Yeah, they said March 29th?
20th, March 20th, I believe.
I want it to be good. I want it to be great. Fuck that. Not good. I want it to be great.
I don't have any feedback.
And if I were them, if you're gonna make a live service game, just make it be Division 3. Make it be Division 3, make it have good end game, and my suggestion is base it in Las Vegas.
I'm good without basing it in Las Vegas. Give me a Division Toronto. The reason that I give me a Division Toronto is because Las Vegas reminds me of Fallout New Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we do San Francisco, then it reminds me of something like Infamous. If we do Seattle, and it reminds me
Seattle's Infamous.
All right. What was in San Francisco? There was a game in San Francisco.
Watch Dogs 2.
I didn't play Watch Dogs 2. I don't know that was in San Francisco. So, but I know that there was a game that I remember seeing that was somewhere in that line. So I'm cool with making a division. Even if you stay in Florida, you could do Miami.
He said Division Toronto.
You could do Miami. If you want to stay within the States, do Miami. You know, you could do you could do anything. But honestly, you know, if you do the division in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah.
That is a
what?
good idea.
Miami.
Sheesh. If you do Miami, at this point you can't do Miami.
Why not? Oh,
GTA
Grand Theft Auto,
6.
never mind.
Yeah.
GTA 6. At this
Yeah,
point,
never mind.
So but if you do LA, then
The Dark Zone, they're gonna be like,
The
hey, Fob.
Division- It's in the Division North Dakota.
Yeah, that's why I stopped, because literally that's all Dark Zone.
Yeah.
Or there's nothing. It's farmland or Dark Zone.
Ooh, hold on.
Do people live in North Dakota? Like, would you
Phoenix, Arizona.
Nah.
What about Houston or
see
Dallas?
Houston. I could see Denver.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Because then you could have like giant mountain ranges in the background, and that'd be actually kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? Yeah. Fuck it. Let's make it. Denver, let's do it. Let's do it.
Mile
Baltimore,
High City, ski resorts. It could be, like it could be the after, like you could do a bunch of stuff in Denver.
the division in Baltimore, which is just basically Baltimore right now. But
So
like,
you
you
mean
know,
The Wire? The
Nah,
Wire.
he just means like visiting Baltimore.
yeah,
The Wire, the video game.
yeah, The Wire, the video game. It's, yeah, essentially that. Yeah,
Yeah, like there's a ton of things that they could do with the
Chicago
IP,
would be dope too.
you know? I mean, maybe they're basing it off of some of Tom Clancy's previous work or something that they feel that they need to
Chicago and the Dark
you
Zone is in
know,
the South Side.
do something with, but it's like I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like it's a weird thing. Like, but
It's a winning
if you're gonna be
formula.
focusing on Assassin's Creed and your open world things, it just feels like a really weird place to be because the live service games you already see Hyperscape and X Defiant have failed. Rainbow Six I would consider kind of live service at this point.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Basically.
So if you're telling me that all you're gonna be focusing on is Rainbow Six and Assassin's Creed, then it's a plus minus because Rainbow Six has been keeping them alive almost single-handedly at this point.
That's the thing. Like, all these
There's no
companies
more
want a
DLC
live.
for divisions to come.
All these companies want a live service game, but they don't want to put out a live service game that's actually fucking fun and people want to come back to and play.
Cool now.
Like
Rainbow Six is completely
no. I'm not
still
talking.
alive.
I'm not saying Rainbow. I'm not saying Rainbow Six. I'm saying like the
Like
strategy.
newer stuff. Yeah, no.
The strategy of just making live service games is like, dude, you got to make a live service game that's fun that people want to play and continuously play for long periods of time, for extended periods of time of years. Like you already have that with For Honor, clearly. For Honor's got a dedicated fan base that game is like what 10 years old now, ain't it?
I mean,
just about
No Honor.
It's 10 years old.
No Honor is literally like one of those games where
toxic.
It's really, really
toxic.
It's a give or take. Like it could be 50-50. Like either you're a fan or you're not.
Yeah.
You can always go back. There's always going to be something to learn, but you're either a fan or you ain't.
Listen, I yearly uninstall that game. APOC talks me into playing that shit for like 2 matches. Then I get mad and I turn that shit off, uninstall that shit.
So let me ask another question. Is there something that Ubi could whip out of the vault right now and get you to instantly buy it?
Rayman.
Hold on. Do you mean OG style Rayman, like 1 and 2, or do you mean like the rhythm, like running game?
Because they've been doing Rabbids games too.
They've been collabing with Nintendo for the Mario Rabbids games.
The Rayman like Legend shit. Like if they made a new Rayman Legends type game,
they could give Watch Dogs Legion another shot. Wasn't the worst game. It was just Ubisoft.
We have different memories of Watch Dogs Legion.
Legion was bad.
I got bored.
Bad. It was boring. It was boring as hell. You couldn't get attached to any of the characters because you can literally just recruit anybody in the city. So because of that, there is no defining character.
They lacked story.
There's no story because there's no defining characters. Just like because you can be anybody in that entire city, you don't have a character to get attached to. You don't give a damn about what happens to any of these characters.
Yeah, I'm literally throwing people away left and right.
Yeah. Or you just pick up the character that has characters that have the best skills, and that's it. And they toned down the hacking, so the hacking wasn't as crazy as it used to be in the older games.
If I'm gonna be a hacker,
that shit was
let me be a net runner.
Wait, what?
I said if I'm gonna be a hacker, let me be a net runner. So just Rayman for you. What about you, Ryden?
I mean, I got a new Prince of Persia, but I would like another 3D action Prince of Persia.
Okay. Yeah. I figured that Prince of Persia was gonna be your choice.
Yeah. Like Lost Crown is amazing. Like if you love Metroidvania games, but like I was really hoping they would get back to like just another 3D
like Sands of Time.
At Sands of Time, or even the one that side one they made in 2009 with the cell shaded graphics, everything like that. That game was dope as shit. And I love how they actually had that as a costume in Lost Crown too. And I was like, okay,
ooh,
good. Like actually, yeah, there's costumes for Sands of Time, Warrior Within as skins of Lost Crown you can play, and it shows up in cutscenes and shit too, which is cool. So
Bro,
it's not
okay,
like
I need to get Lost Crown.
If they give me another division, if they give me another
Same with Division.
like if you give me another division and make it a little bit more interesting than part 2 was, like somewhere along part 2 I started to feel worn out. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if it was just that it didn't have the magic that 1 had, but like I still enjoyed 2 from start to finish. So if you give me another division, like a Division 3, if you give me if you give me
a
a
new-
Ghost Recon Wildlands, you got me.
Give me a new crew, but this time make it in an actual country that I get to travel through. Don't do this whole the crew, but now we're just basically Forza Horizon, like they did with
Breakpoint.
no the crew.
Oh, the crew.
Yeah, the crew. Give me another the crew, but make it an actual country. Like you get. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. No. Here's the thing. So we went from the whole United States twice
To the whole United States.
to Hawaii, and not even not even the whole state of Hawaii, an island in Hawaii. That's it. That's what we scaled down to.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that. Give me a whole country. Give me Japan. All of Japan that I can drive through,
including the little islands.
Yeah, put bridges. I don't care. Put bridges on them. Do it. Like that's. So here's the thing. Japan is smaller than the United States.
I don't think that the crew is the way to go. The crew is not a major player in the racing community. It's like it's fun, but if we're talking about reviving them, bringing them back to what Ubisoft could be, like Ubisoft has always been known as the company where they make good games, but you always know that they're gonna put them out on sale like 2 months later, so you just don't buy them on release.
Let me see what
and it's hurt
franchises
them.
they own.
Huh?
Let me see what franchises that
they own. So,
I mean, your main ones, you got Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Prince of Persia, Tom Clancy in general, Rabbids, Rayman, Watch Dogs, The Crew.
Put out a new Splinter Cell. There you go.
Yeah,
that'll actually get you back in good grace.
Yeah, honestly, if they made a new dope, full-on Splinter Cell game, I would buy that. Like, they actually had some care into it.
If they can stick to Tom Clancy's original style, it'll be fine.
You know what they should do?
I think, didn't Tom Clancy pass away?
He's long dead.
Yeah,
I think.
You know, and didn't they run out of material, like source material?
No. The Division is Tom Clancy. You know that, right?
Yes.
So Tom Division is Tom Clancy.
And look what they tried to do with the Division Homeland. Look what they did with Rainbow Six Extraction.
That was bad. The thing with the aliens is like, oh God, no.
I'm just saying, like that don't feel like Tom Clancy. Look what they did with Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Here's what I would do.
They're obviously missing the Tom Clancy point.
I was thinking, I was gonna say, you know, it'd be funny if they got Hideo Kojima to direct the new Splinter Cell. Be fucking ironic.
A little bit. So, do you think if Assassin's Creed Shadows fails this game, like if it comes out with bad reviews, you think that's it? Is there anything that they could do to save themselves at that point, like a Hail Mary? Like, what could save Ubisoft if Assassin's Creed Shadow nails that coffin?
Splinter Cell. And for the sake of nostalgia itself, Splinter Cell might be the thing that could save them.
I don't even know, because the last couple Splinter Cells weren't well received. Like Blacklist and Conviction weren't really that well received.
What do you mean? Marvel is just very creative. Also, I love that their staff handles issues quickly. I think I need to hear the story on this, V.
Oh, they so there was some controversy with they were going to do rank resets this Friday.
with the new update.
Yeah, with the new update. But the community was so vocal about it that they like literally maybe 10 hours later they retracted that and it was like we're not going to reset your ranks.
So they're just going to update without resetting ranks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's usually not something that happens. Like the backlash from that was so heavy before they even had a chance to put that out. They're like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that.
All right. There's also, remember when Kojima and Jordan Peele announced that they were collabing on the game together? Yes, I do. It was actually recently, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? That was at the Game Awards last year.
Yeah, that was like this
Yeah,
past
the Game Awards last
December.
Year for Xbox.
Oh, also one more thing before we go, because I know that we are a little bit at the end of our time, but we've talked about Monster Hunter Wilds, and just so that everybody knows, we are 10 days away from Monster Hunter Wilds. As of 28th, I don't exist anymore. Okay? You want to find me? Find me there. And I will be willing to hunt with everybody. I will be willing to walk with everybody through this game as long as I have the time to play. I'm very short on time at times. Now, I actually read an article, and the creator or the director of Monster Hunter Wilds actually stated that they did not add a 15th weapon in this game because they feel that there's already something for everyone.
Cowards. Nah, I'm joking.
Like they were like to add another weapon, and like he said he feels that adding another weapon when you already have 14 different weapons and 14 different weapon play styles, so adding another one would step on the toes of like other weapons. Like when you want to go with a fast weapon, you go with your dual blades. When you want to go with something that's going to be relatively aerial, you go with your insect glaive. If you want your high risk, high reward weapon, you have your great sword. Your long sword is in between. Your sword and shield is kind of your basic weapon that gets you, whatchamacallit. Goji, if you do get it, by all means, I will help find the promised land.
You could give us the Tonfas.
Open world Monster Hunter style game, so it's going to be a different experience from some of the older ones, but a lot of people don't like the gameplay loop. The hunting loop, hopefully the story is enough to keep you enthralled, and the way that the world is very dynamic this time around changes kind of how some players are feeling. I know a few Monster Hunter fans who are fans of games but weren't really fans of Monster Hunter, like Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, but they played the beta and they really enjoyed it. So I think that giving it a shot. I mean, if you have a PC, get it on Steam. Steam has crossplay with PlayStation, Xbox, and whatever other platforms that it's coming out on. And if you don't like it, Steam, you can play it for 2 hours before you give it back.
I think the one weapon I've always wanted them to add Monster Hunter is some kind of like fist claw or claw weapons. Like, we hunt monsters. Let me use the claws fighting.
Yeah, and dual blades that have a claw, like
don't count.
That don't count.
Yeah. A lot of people want to give monsters the bops, bro. Could you imagine having an Anjanath come at you and he about to do his flame breath? His little thingy is up on his head, and he's making his little noise. Or if a Rathalos or a Raytheon is in front of you and it's roaring and whatever, and all of a sudden you see a slow motion.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say. All I'm saying is it's made by the same company. Tell me you couldn't give me no fist weapons with some Street Fighter movesets. I'm just saying we can do it.
They give us Ryu and Sakura skins.
Yep.
Also,
I'm not saying give me a Hadouken, but let me do a Shoryuken or something like that. Let me do a Tatsumaki. I feel like it could work.
Also, what I would like them to do is why not just do like what you did with the gun lance? Like, because anyone who's played Monster Hunter a long time is old enough to remember that the gun lance used to just actually be a lance skin.
Yep.
And then they made it its own weapon.
Well, the great sword,
I don't know how far
used to be a great sword skin.
Exactly. I don't know how many people remember the gun hammer. Give us an actual fucking gun hammer weapon class. Y'all, come on. Imagine how fire that would be. A gunhammer weapon class? Why not?
Want the claws?
Clause 2, but gunhammer. Make it a class. You made it a skin before. Make that shit a class.
I'm sorry. I'm
Where I
gonna
can
have
reload
to.
the
I'm gonna
hammer.
have to say that the one thing that I would love that they did. Forgive me for this, Capcom. Let me just tell you, EA is not going back to that well. Give us a chain blade.
Wait, you mean like Kratos?
No, like the long sword, or should I say the katana from Wild Hearts that turned into a chain blade.
Oh, kind of like Ivy's. Yeah,
So
yeah, that'd be
katana
dope.
from Wild
Yeah.
Heart that literally turned into a
That
blade.
was a really, yeah, no. Wild Hearts has some really great weapons.
Wild Hearts, like the
He ain't
chain
gonna
and
do.
sickle,
He ain't gonna do nothing with that shit.
the Kusarigama, the Naginata.
A Kusarigama would be so dope in Monster Hunter.
Why not? Why not? Put it in the game. You got access to it. Or why don't you give us the Tonfas that are in
fans?
Fucking y'all got Tonfas that are in Frontier but won't put them in the regular fucking Monster Hunter game for some fucking reason. But you gave us a Frontier monster in Rise. I don't get it. Why do you hate us?
Fans, bro. Fighting fans.
Yeah, that too. I'll take fighting fans. Listen, I'll take any new weapon, period. Any new weapon, just something. I'm not saying I don't like the weapons that we got currently. Longsword main till I die, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still salty that you didn't keep Sacred Sheath. You could have gave me that. That's one of the best things you added to the longsword in Rise, in Sunbreaker.
I just realized that I miss Wild Hearts.
It was good.
It was good. It just didn't have the history. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't
like
just that.
We didn't have all of the monsters that Monster Hunter gave us. They gave us a whole bunch of variations. And so, like, if you have 12 monsters in 4 different variants of each monster, that don't count as 48 monsters.
Yeah, that was wild. Like, you had a whole new franchise and you gave us variants already in the first game.
You gave us
multiple variants. There are so many goddamn variants of that fucking rat. like, there's 4 versions of him you fight. Why?
Yeah.
That's what doomed them. There was not enough variation.
So there was not enough variation because what they needed to add was more monsters and not more variants. And that's not necessarily doomed because I still put hundreds. I still put over.
That crow was badass as fuck. I ain't gonna hold you though.
Like that wolf at the end was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like some of their end monsters were good.
And then Rise came out with Luna Garon, and I was just like, "What Ice Wolf again?"
Yeah. So
put Luna Garon in the game. Do it. Put Luna Garon in Monster Hunter Wilds. You have an ice zone. He is an ice wolf. Just put his ass there.
They could take. I don't know if they're gonna take anything from Rise, but they could take stuff from Rise, and it could definitely work. I know you're saying Luna Garon, but you know, like I said, it can work.
It's an ice wolf.
Telemador.
I mean, you might actually get that.
We'll see.
So what I say is this: if anybody's familiar with Monster Hunter, just send us something that lets us know what you want to see coming out of Monster Hunter Wilds that has not already been confirmed. In the meantime, you know, this is where we're gonna actually cut out. We want to respect your time, just like you know, we want to experience the rest of our evening. So I thank you all for coming, joining us. Again, it's always a pleasure to be here with you and for you. If you ever got any questions, feel free to reach out to us on Discord, reach out to us on Instagram. You can always get in contact with us through, you know, our social medias. We have a social media manager who's amazing. And so feel free to contact us in any which way. All of us will talk. All of us are nice. In the meantime, We had a ball today. We got some education. We got some fun conversation. So I hope you join us next week. And remember that if there's ever anything that you want to do, sometimes all you got to do is press the start button. Protect your healers. We out.
Peace.
Although the Garen game.